Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Stephen Pearson. You may have stumbled on this blog looking around, and now you're looking at some of the content that we have up on our site, and you're going, what is up here? A whole bunch of different foreign things, digital leadership, forensics, technology. What has that got to do with anything? Business leadership. What is the theme here? What is this guy trying to tell me? And then he's got coaching on top. Coaching what? And this is what I'm going to tell you. This site's about coaching leadership, because leadership is the thread that is woven through the entire fabric of everything else. We are going to talk about digital forensics. We're going to talk about that because I was a digital forensics person for 38 years in law enforcement and in the military, and after that teaching teams in foreign countries. I'm also going to talk to you about leadership and being a CEO, because I've run a company for 18 years. I have 4 companies. My wife has a company, $1 million company, that is doing extremely well as, also. So between me and her, I'm going to be able to provide you some really good advice on being a CEO. I'm going to give you a male and a female perspective on some of the things that we see as leadership obstacles as we go through. I'm also going to take you into an understanding of leadership. My doctorate is in leadership, global business leadership. I understand the global economy and how global leadership works. I spend a lot of time overseas. I spend 6 months in Europe every single year teaching and training and being a part of the global economy. So I understand when somebody says they just don't understand us because there's a corporate culture in America that's different from the one in Europe. And they're absolutely correct. These are all things that I'm going to be able to discuss with you in this blog and future blogs. Today, a leader has to understand technology. If a leader doesn't understand technology, a leader is going to fail. You have digital citizens and you have digital immigrants. A digital citizen is someone who grew up with technology. Our children, they grew up with technology. I'm a digital immigrant, like many of the people that are going to come to this blog. What is a digital immigrant? A digital immigrant is someone who grew up in the physical world without technology. So we had cords on our phones. I had Legos that you actually built on a board. I had things that weren't connected to the computer. My life didn't revolve around the game console. My life revolved around getting kicked out of the door by my mom in the morning and told to make sure I come back before the street lights come on. I had to go find things to do. The difference now is that child no longer gets kicked outside. That child now goes up in their room and they watch their game consoles. These are now becoming the workers that we as digital immigrants are having to manage. And when we talk about managing and leading, there's a difference between those two. But when we talk about leadership, we need to know how to bridge that gap. And that's something that I'm very good at. And we're going to go through on how to bridge the gap between the digital immigrant and the digital citizen, and how as a CEO you can provide a vision for both of those. So first of all, we need to understand from my perspective, and what I want to give you is my perspective on what leadership is and what leadership is not. And I'm going to tell you this from my coaching method. And the reason you have coaching on this website, and the reason I say this is a coaching website, is because this is about coaching CEOs to be better CEOs in the global economy. First of all, a lot of people will say, I'm a capitalist and a great leader. Well, those are two totally different terms. A capitalist or capitalism is not leadership. Capitalism means you've made money. You've made good money. Capitalism means that you're able to take money and grow money. That's what capitalism is all about. Making more money, getting more things. Leadership is about providing a vision that will result in capitalism. A lot of people get that confused and they think capitalism is the main thing, and then leadership is kind of one of those subtopics when it's absolutely reversed. If you're a great leader and if you are a good leader, you will provide capitalistic tendencies within your people because you're going to inspire them to make money. Okay, you're going to inspire them to want more. You're going to be a capitalist because you're a great leader, not because you're a capitalist who can lead. You're a leader who will inspire capitalism. Well, then some people say, well, that's great, but democracy is leadership. Democracy has nothing to do with leadership. Democracy is the ability of people to get together and come to a consensus on doing something. That's not leadership. The leadership of democracy is the person that stands in front and says, this is my vision, my dream. This is where we should go, and the other people follow behind. When you have democracy, you normally have a sheep and a wolf. And the wolf is your leader, and the sheep all follow that wolf. If I say, hey, let's all go outside. It's pouring with rain. It's cold. We should all just go outside. Let's take a vote. Who wants to go outside? And nobody raises their hand. Why? Because it's not something they want to do. As a leader, I have to inspire them to want to go outside. Not just inspire them. I want to make them want to go outside. They need to go outside. They want to live outside because that's my dream, and my dream needs to be inspired onto the people that I lead. And that is what leadership is. It's the ability to inspire and bring out the people's greatest effort to make your vision work. You need to get them to buy into your vision. All right? Because leadership is a belief, it's an idea, it's an inspiration. But then people say, well, but I'm a great manager. Well, if you're a manager, you're not a leader. You say, oh, wait a minute, of course I am. I'm the head manager of my organization. Well, that's fine. That means you can task manage people below you, but you don't lead them. You're given the leadership. You're given the vision. You're given the follow-on task. What you're not given is you're not given the ability to change that vision. Because if you start changing that vision as a manager, well, then what you're doing is you're becoming an informal leader. And what an informal leader does is an informal leader cuts the feet out from under the leader. Unless the leader is good and strong, and then the leader puts down that informal leader. Okay? And an informal leader can be a good thing, though. If I encourage the informal leader to believe in what I believe in, an informal leader absolutely can be a good thing as well. So, understanding and identifying the informal leaders in your group and then inspiring them to leadership, that's also important. We're going to talk about those types of concepts in this blog. That's what this blog is for. That's what I created this environment for, was to coach and lead and teach people to be inspirational leaders. Okay? I want you to be that kind of leader that can look at someone and say, get out of your foxhole, go take that pillbox of the person that's shooting at you because you have more faith in me than you have faith in them that they're going to hit you with a bullet. That's leadership. That's the ability to encourage someone to do something that they don't want to do. That is what leadership is. Okay? A good manager can get things done. So if you really want to break it down, a leader is someone that looks at a blank piece of property and says, wow, look at the house. And everybody else looks around and says, what house? And then the leader builds out the dream or the vision of the house. And other people start seeing it. And they're like, well, yeah, I start seeing these great things you're showing. And then what the leader does, he goes out and gets a contractor. And he inspires that contractor to see his vision. And then what the contractor does, the contractor manages the building of what the leader wants. The leader is going to inspire that vision. The contractor is then going to build what that leader wants. Okay? And that's the difference between leadership and managing. Okay? Leadership is an art form. All right? And it's something that you have to work on all the time. All right? Leaders are constantly working on themselves. Leaders are constantly learning. Leaders are constantly looking for that next thing that can be inspirational. Leaders are passionate. Leaders are impassioned. Okay? There is a difference, though, between being an entrepreneur and being a leader. And we're going to talk about that in these blogs and in my podcast. We're going to talk about the entrepreneur, because the entrepreneur is a great builder, maker, inventor, but may not be a great leader. An entrepreneur, there's great examples. Steve Jobs is a great example. He was an innovator, but he was not a leader. He brought people to see something he wanted, and he built cool things, but when it came to actually leading his company, inspiring everyone to have a single vision, he was not able to do that. And that was one of his failures. He created a counterculture. And that counterculture is a great marketing tool. But it also creates groups that oppose each other. And you don't want to have that in your leadership. So leadership is in every organization. It's in every team. It's in every thing that we do. Boy Scouts have leaders. It's inspirational people, okay? But not at the Boy Scout troop level. Boy Scouts are led from the top. The Boy Scouts at the bottom are managers. They manage those kids and they bring them forward. You may have a really great inspirational Boy Scout troop leader, but that Boy Scout troop leader follows the manual that's given to him from the leadership above him. So he's an informal manager or informal leader within the organization supporting the formal leader. Now, as I told you when I first started this out, I've been running a company for 18 years. I've been the CEO of a company for 18 years. I have 4 companies that I currently am the CEO of. My wife is Amanda. She runs a company of her own, $1 million company. Between us, we have 5 companies. And guess what? We're about to start our 6th company. In our 6th company, we are documenting everything that we are doing, from the idea stage all the way through the future successful business that we'll have down on Main Street. And we're going to show how we are able to, or we're going to be able to change the dynamic of the Main Street downtown by us bringing this new business to town. Okay? We are going to document it, show it to you, show you how we are inspiring and leading others to follow us, to take a small town that's kind of down on its luck a little bit in the downtown area, and how we're going to change that. We are going to build something very cool. We are going to put in a business that will encourage other businesses, and then we are going to help other businesses come into the Main Street area, and we're going to try and revitalize our downtown for our small community here in North Carolina. But that is going to be documented, and at the end of the day, we're going to show you through our podcast and through all the other things exactly what we did and how we did it. Okay, so that's something that hopefully you'll be looking forward to. And as far as coaching goes, I do personal coaching. I also do corporate coaching, where I can come in and I can talk to your group, bring some inspiration to your folks, motivational speeches, things such as that. I look forward to having the opportunity to show you everything that we can do, and I absolutely want your feedback, because as a good leader, feedback is critical to me, so that I can redefine my message, so I can redefine my vision, so that I can give you something better, a better tool, a better environment to work in. If you're a CEO and you're feeling a little bit lost, if you're a CEO and you're beating your head against the wall because you're frustrated, or you've hit that mental block, give me a call. Get a hold of me. We can talk. Phone calls and texts don't cost a dime. Give me a call. We can work something out between us to get you through that mental block or that mental area. So with all that, Again, short introduction. Watch the podcasts, watch the blogs, see what we're talking about. Take away from this site everything you can take away from this site. This site is here as a tool for you as a leader. And again, my name is Dr. Stephen Pearson, and I am here to be a resource for you.